help me, neighbor, so come and help me, oh, they want to kill me, oh. Mr. Daniel has been expecting a certain contract in Obako community, and eventually he got the contract and he was to travel there. He traveled there the following day to begin his work, but he needed to find a place to pass nights while he still had to work in Obako community. Okay, and he didn't want to lodge in a hotel because the expenses would be too much lodging in a hotel. So he thought to himself, instead of using all of this amount of money to pay the hotel bills, it's not better he uses the money to rent a small room where he can spend the 3 weeks that he wants to spend in Obako community to do his work. Mr. Daniel is actually an engineer. He builds houses. Okay, so he now talked to somebody he met on the road, somebody he has never seen before, and told the person that, hey, I'm looking for a place where I can be sleeping. I need to negotiate with the landlord or the landlady and pay for 3 weeks so that I can stay there as my own house. And the person said, it's okay, let me direct you, check that compound over there. Maybe they will have a spare room. If they don't have, they can direct you to somewhere else. So he went to that compound, and the owner of the compound is Mr. Okoro. Now, Mr. Okoro showed him a room that is empty. Okoro lives in that house with his family, and there are other 2 extra rooms that are already occupied by 2 different tenants, and that other room, making them 3, that is empty. Now he gave the room to Mr. Daniel, and after he handed the key over to Daniel and Daniel was about going to the room, Mr. Okoro called Daniel back and said, Daniel, my son, come. At midnight, don't come outside, and if you hear any knock on your door or if you hear anyone calling your name, don't answer. Daniel was like, are you serious? So he didn't take Okoro seriously. He thought maybe it was just a joke, it was just a thing he said to probably see if he would be scared. And Daniel just shrugged and went into the room, set everything up, and was ready to take his rest. He slept that night, the following night, and the 3rd night. Everything was okay. He came back from work on the 4th day, and after his normal evening routine, he had his dinner, and just lay back on the bed and was scrolling through his phone. And suddenly, at 12:45 a.m., he got a knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Daniel was startled. First, because at 12:45 a.m., why is there a knock on my door? At this point, he didn't remember what Mr. Okoro had told him initially, a few days back. So he went ahead and asked, who is that? The place became silent, and next he heard a knock again. Knock, knock, knock. He went and opened the door, looked left, looked right. There was nobody. Looked at the doors of his co-tenants and his landlord. They were all closed. There was nobody outside. And he just went back inside. He slept off. The next day, he went to work, came back in the evening again, and he heard the same knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. It was still around the same hour, 12:45 a.m. This time, it wasn't just a knock. A female voice called from outside, Daniel, come and open the door for me. And he was wondering, who is that person? Even the ladies in the compound, just one lady and landlord's children. He has never really had conversations with them to the point of them coming to his house at that time of the night. So he was wondering. He just asked, who are you? What do you want? Daniel, come and open the door. Daniel stayed back. At this point, he was scared because the voice was not normal. The voice was not human. It was so strange. So he was scared to go open the door, but here is what happened. As he was about to stand up, probably to peek or something, the lights in the house went off. That's the first. He picked his phone, tried to turn on the torchlight on his phone. His phone fell because he was at this time trembling. His phone fell. And the next thing, his phone started ringing. He looked at it. It was his mom, he thought, and he picked the call. And his mother said, Daniel, come and open the door. His mother. Now, mind you, from Obako to Daniel's place is 3 hours drive from Obako to Daniel's place. So there was no way Daniel's mother would be at his doorstep at that time of the night. Okay, and his mother doesn't even know he was staying there. She only knows that Daniel has gone to Obako to go and build some houses for people that contracted him for 3 weeks. Now, Daniel now knew he was in for it. The next thing, he hung up the call because definitely that was not his mom. And then he heard the voice from outside. He hung up the call, but come and open the door. The voice became very angry. At some point, everywhere went quiet. So Daniel manned up and went and opened the door to peep and see what was happening. He peeped, he looked, he didn't see anyone. And by the time he turned back to enter inside the house, the door was wide open because he slightly opened the door and stepped out a bit. The door was half closed, half open. And by the time he turned back, the door was already wide open, and then he saw a figure standing behind him. A beautiful lady wearing all white, but her face was pale. He was trembling, asking the lady, what do you want? What are you doing in my room? Please leave my house. He was shouting and shouting and shouting and shouting and shouting. He was wailing, calling the landlord, Mr. Okoro, sir, come and help. He was struggling. He even tried to run. He couldn't work. His feet were too heavy to carry him to run. And then Daniel woke up. It was just a dream. Now tell me, if you were Daniel and you were expecting to get a contract in a certain town, and you specifically had a dream that you got that contract and you went to that town, and this is what happened to you. If the next day they called you that you'll be offered the contract, will you still go for that job? What would you do if you were Mr. Daniel? Hit the comments. Thank you for staying tuned with Nguvan Tales. Follow for more. Bye bye.